of cloning, but they don't have any laws banning cloning from private.
Yeah, don't bring a clone over to Iowa either. You get a Class C, whatever it's called.
Well, because clones have something, they affect corn negatively. So.
Oh, do they?
When a clone walks by a corn, it just dies. So, when the state's biggest
corn producer,
they don't want genetically modified corn.
Right. Yeah. Even though there's genetically modified salmon coming to the stores now.
As there should be.
It grows faster, bigger.
Well, that wouldn't be having anything to do with cloning, though.
What?
That's all.
That's more just modifying the genes. Like a bovine growth hormone type of...
Yeah.
That type of thing.
So, okay, cloning.
Yes.
So, clones are going to die anyways.
Well, so...
Because of cellular degeneration.
Well, we are too.
Yes. But understand, if you take a cell from an adult human...
Right. So, like, take a cell from a...
It is more likely to have cell degeneration than if you did it from an embryonic state.
So you're saying...
Okay.
So, most likely, most of the clones that we would make would probably not make it to live half our life. Depending on how old you are, probably, before they took the cells.
Now, could they...
No, I don't know if they could stop that.
Well, let's say if they did.
I don't know if it's in the DNA itself or in the egg.
You're saying the cloned person wouldn't live
that
long? That they would...
Well, I mean, cellular degeneration would probably happen to them. And, I mean, cells die after so long of being split. I mean, so after division of cells, after so long, they do die. So, I mean, early in life, if you grabbed a cell, they would probably live longer. But if you grabbed one from later in life, like a man of 113, and tried using his cells...
Yes, their cells are already worn out, basically.
So...
Okay.
So you're saying you should use embryos.
Well, how about,
you should create embryos.
We bypass the whole embryonic stem cell and get one from a newborn?
Get one from a newborn?
Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Is that
should do?
Well, no. What I'm saying is
the best chance.
Just make a clone right away.
Well, you could, yes. It'd be, in my theory, it'd be like having a twin, because you would basically just split the egg at the beginning and let them both separately grow.
That's not really a clone, though, is it? I don't think that's...
Well,
really,
no.
That's just making a twin.
Yes. But now, if you took that egg, injected the new DNA, and re-implanted it...
Yes, then you'd have
that would be a clone.
A clone.
So, now you take a baby, take out one of the cells, use that DNA. Now that clone could live a normal, full life.
Except they'd be in this big government farm that you've been talking about where all these people would be raised.
Well, it'd be like cattle. No. Well,
oh boy.
See now, a lot of movies have it that you see the kids all clumped into one room, studying, living, getting taught by the same people.
That's usually a socialistic kind of movement.
There was a movie about this, The Island, with Ewan McGregor.
Right.
Where
have you seen that?
And they kept on cloning themselves?
Well, it was an island where the company would create clones of their... the clients for body parts.
Like sports figures, or basically people who had a lot of money. Yeah. So like there's a running back who had a clone, and so when he blew out his knee, they got the clone and were gonna take part of his knee or whatever it was, and then so the clone obviously would die. And so they had these clones underground in this big... I forget exactly what they had done, but they had... The clones thought they were living underground because the Earth was so they were living underground.
A false life kind.
Right.
Oh,
and every so often there would be like a lottery where people
they told them it was a lottery.
Yeah, they thought it would be a lottery and they were going to go to the surface and to
check, see if
No, it was
like a vacation kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, they thought they had something above ground, or anyway, so they thought they won the lottery, but in reality what happened is
It wasn't a random lottery, it was a specific...
Right, for the people, the rich people who lived on the Earth were coming to get theirs, and then they escaped. And
Okay.
The first half of the movie was pretty good.
Yeah,
And then the second half was
it was basically a chase scene.
Yeah. As they escaped.
Okay.
So anyways,
okay, so yeah, basically same.
That's what you're saying is a
no,
good
I
thing
ain't
to do.
saying that's a good thing to do.
But so what would you do?
But the thing is,
What I'm saying
does a clone
is,
have rights as we do?
I'm saying though, with learning how to clone, we could learn how just to clone a heart, or how to just clone a lung.
Right, but I don't think religion would object to that.
But we would have to know how to do cloning in the first place to get down to that stage. You don't just start at learning how to clone a heart.
How do you know?
I'm just assuming.
I mean, why couldn't you? I mean, they're talking about doing that now, being able to take like liver cells from a person and be able to basically grow a new liver.
Yes, using stem cells, which we could get into our next topic right now.
But they're not talking about having to grow a whole new human to be able to
they don't.
make a liver. But that's what you just said. That's why you.
No, they should start from the.
Why?
Why?
I mean, you can just grow a liver.
So-
I don't think anybody.
So when you're building a machine, let's say machine, because
Yeah.
humans are basically a very complicated machine.
So if you're building a car, you don't build a car. You have a tire, an axle, and you
Yes,
build little
but you-
pieces. And if you're going to go, and if you're
No, because most
and if
people
your
design the
brakes-
car, then they go into the smaller pieces.
Yeah, but you have to make all these little pieces.
Yes.
And so if your brakes fail, you don't go you don't get a new car and say, well, let's take the brakes out of that car.
Well, some
you just
people
go,
do.
Well, you just go.
My dad used to buy the same truck, so he had parts out in the back.
And that's right. You had 15 cars in the back.
Actually, he had like 23 trucks in the backyard because of that. All with parts hooking off for him. So yes, people do that. And I guess that's my way of thinking. I'd rather have a whole than just a part.
Yeah, but having a
It'd probably be cheaper to use parts at a time too. Than to
Well, yeah, in the later running, but
if you, I mean,
I think you're talking about the discovery of actually being able to clone a human.
Yeah.
Is a bigger discovery and opportunity. For
Well, I mean, okay.
For scientists to work on.
let's say that for some reason your child died. Okay?
Yeah.
I know you don't have one, but let's say your child died. Or anyone's child died. Why not have the same child? I mean, yeah, it'd be different mentally and some...
Look the same.
Yeah, it looks the same. And you would have it from birth. So you take a part of your child, give it to the scientist, they clone you a new baby.
well, you just have a new baby.
Well,
Let's just say the mother is no longer able to have kids.
or the father.
Well, if you're going to be able to make a clone, you're going to be able to. You can get
Artificially inseminated, yeah.
insemination. So if you're able to.
But, I mean, what if you... I mean, there's some mothers and some fathers that literally just absolutely go nuts because their child dies.
They want the exact same one.
Yeah, they wanted the exact same one.
Yeah, but it's not going to be.
You're right.
They did a
You,
movie.
but
on
you
it.
even said that. I mean, there's
But
not going
to
to be
them-
fingerprints. It's gonna. I mean, it will look very similar, but it's gonna. But it'll probably. it
Yes,
probably won't even
because
look best
just
similar.
like twins,
Spielberg did a movie on this.
from the separation of the eggs,
AI.
from the separation of the
It's a pretty good
eggs,
movie. We should do a review on that.
Well,
AI.
that movie it's called
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
review. You should do a review on something here.
Well,
good
that movie
idea.
had a lot of great ideas, but it wasn't long enough
But-
to be able to.
So,
Yeah,
fulfill
yeah,
all those
yeah, yeah.
ideas.
with twins, when the cell divides, each of the cell splits off and becomes an embryo of its own. From that point on, each of them experience something differently. They don't experience the exact same thing from that point on. So they would never be identical.
Right, you wouldn't have the memories.
Yes. And their influence of the memories upon them.
You think we could probably one day clone memories, though, couldn't we? 'Cause I'm
Well,
sure
we're
that's
already
all-
doing that.
What about being
It's
able to do
already-
a brain implant? So
We're
when you're
already
like
doing
90.
that. We're already going and testing things in the brain where we can extract
You
information.
can't do a brain implant.
Well, so...
That's what I said.
Yes.
You said we're already
Yeah.
doing that.
Well,
We're not
you-
brain
yeah.
implant.
Well,
So like when you're 90 years old, you could make a clone of you.
Well, see, if we knew how to make a full body clone, we could make it so that the brain did not develop.
Yes, you could, I suppose.
So
why would you want that though?
Because then you could take
because then you could take my brain and put it into the younger
body.
So you could.
In theory, it wouldn't be alive because it wouldn't have no brain.
Well, I don't know, but religion would probably say it is.
If you're gonna do that, why not just grow, normal clone and just discard the new brain, put your brain in it?
Because that's a waste of material.
Well, if you're only going that far, well,
because then you could basically exempt the fact that they would have a conscious life.
and then they're just a piece of meat.
Yep.
Therefore,
you still have an embryo to begin with.
No conscious mind.
You still have an embryo, and so many people.
Many people would. Yes, you're right.
Disagree with that.
right.
Even some non-religious people might disagree with that.
You're right.
Because it's
But
still
mine were also a little different than non-religious people too.
You mean you're
right.
You're,
Because if you're going to do a clone like that, the clone being a person would have no, if you're just going to take his, your brain out of it. He would have no opportunity to have a life of his own.
Exactly. He would have been dead from the start, just like a stillbirth.
Which is against the human rights issues.
What? Keeping a stillbirth alive?
Well, not necessarily a stillbirth.
Well, that'd be the same thing. Most stillbirths are because of brain damage. Then the baby's dead before it even comes out.
I still sense problems.
I ain't saying there ain't.
well, I think there's definitely some good things that can come out of being able to clone.
Yes.
Either whole persons, but definitely being able to
Cloning parts.
Cloning parts or make
like an arm.
I don't know if you're
an eye.
Obviously, you could put those in, and there wouldn't be any. Your body wouldn't reject them.
Exactly.
So maybe what you're saying is that religion. I mean, to get to that point, you're going to have to be able to test. You're going to be able to do testing on cloning type things.
Yes.
And religion would not allow that.
See, but I think that religion shouldn't be able to affect laws in the government system.
The thing is, we are a democracy where the majority rules.
But there's arguments for not cloning that are simply based on religion.
Well,
I mean, just the things that we've talked about aren't necessarily based on religion.
You're right.
I mean, you don't have to be a religious person to realize there might be something wrong with growing